Every American needs to hear this report. $9,000 roughly is the amount that the taxpayer is paying per illegal immigrant. This is insanity. It's going to keep increasing, and it needs to stop. We're going to unpack so much more here on the Vigilant News' Beyond the Headlines. My name's Elijah Schaefer. Let's start the show. Popular X account, Wall Street Silver, shared a video saying that every American needs to hear this. Roughly $9,000 is what every illegal immigrant is being given from taxpayers. That's more money than we spend on Medicaid beneficiary. That's more than we spend for our veterans in the way of military retirement benefits. And that's more than we spend on the most vulnerable American citizens for their health. There's actually a video of this. You're going to have to listen because this is absolutely sick. Listen.
I want everybody to listen to this stat. 9,000 roughly per illegal immigrant that taxpayers are fronting. That's more than we spend per Medicaid beneficiary. That's more than we spend on the most vulnerable American citizen for their health care. That's more than we spend for our heroes, our veterans, in the way of military retirement benefits. So I think for everyone, this should be unacceptable. I believe it is quite avoidable, but this is the real and significant, and at the state and local levels, especially unsustainable cost of the current border crisis. I want everybody to listen.
That is absolute insanity. $9,000. What in the world is going on there? And I saw a study. And it's not just $9,000 of federal tax dollars, but cities are forking out a bunch more money. Now, if you live in places like Chicago or New York, your city taxes and your state taxes are also going towards this. Check this out. From last year, Illinois was providing $9,000 in rental assistance to migrants seeking temporary housing. This was from Fox 32. And I think it was New York was giving $10,000 cash cards. Many other cities are giving several hundred to several $1,000s, free housing even, which itself is not really something we can quantify monetarily. But we're in a position where we're told that millions, several million more illegals have entered into our country. It's called gotaways, and those that were released just into the open air. Millions of people. In fact, more people than live in some states in our country. This doesn't just radically change the demographics of our nation. This changes the trust of our society. And the fact is that we're paying that much money. Imagine if the government gave your family $9,000 for every kid that you have instead of paying for millions of illegal immigrants. What if we gave $9,000 to elderly people who are living on the street, like our veterans? What if we actually used our money for things that weren't foreign wars in Ukraine and Israel while we're shelling out money to illegals, but actually gave a damn about the people that work hard like you and everyone else watching today? It makes me sick. It honestly does. Now, I thought about, well, let's see what the House said. The House just came out with a cost of illegal immigration document that genuinely explains how expensive illegal immigration is. This is directly from the budget.house.gov. I found this on their website. This is a prepared testimony of Stephen A. Camarota, director of the Research for Center for Immigration Studies. Listen to this. Here's some of the key points. I could probably even get that zoomed in a little bit more here for you guys. There you go. So maybe it's a little easier to read on your phone. But the current surge of illegal immigration is unprecedented. Some 2.7 million inadmissible aliens have been released into the country by the administration since January 2021. There have also been 1.5 million gotaways, individuals observed entering illegally but not stopped. Visa overstays also seem to have hit a record in 2022. We preliminarily estimate that the illegal immigrant population grew to 12.8 million by October of 2023. Up 2.6 million since January of 2021. Now, if you hear that I said 16, 17 million in the beginning, that's because that's what Trump administration suggested that the actual illegal concentration was. And I do think it's probably higher than we would ever begin to understand. This is probably a conservative estimate, something that could be verified. Now, illegal immigrants have a negative fiscal impact. We know that taxes paid minus benefits received, primarily because of a large share of modest levels of education, resulting in relatively low average incomes and tax payments, along with significant use of means-tested programs and other government services. Prior research indicates that 69% of adult illegal immigrants have no education beyond high school, compared to 35% of U.S. born. Using the National Academics estimate of immigrants, the fiscal impact by education level, we estimate that the lifetime fiscal drain for each illegal immigrant is about $68,000. And that's ones that pay taxes. That's an average. Some of them are much more into the six figures. It's literal insanity, which is why I want to remind you, look, we're getting screwed financially everywhere. And if you have debt, credit card debt, and you're paying interest, or you have personal loans, private loans, cars, you do know how quickly you can be drowning in your debt. And I want to give you a time-sensitive solution. What you need to do is go to donewithdebt.com. You go to donewithdebt.com, click Vigilant News at checkout, and my friends at Done With Debt are going to help you offload your debt without having to file for bankruptcy, and you do not have to pull out a personal loan. So listen, if this is you, you have debt, you don't know how to pay it off, your income's not as high as you would like it, inflation is speeding past your ability to pay your bills, I'm going to tell you, you're not going to have to fight this alone. Go to donewithdebt.com. The link's on the screen. Click Vigilant News at checkout, and they're going to help you get rid of your debt today and get back on track like the way you deserve, because you got to stop wasting your money on these interest rates. Go to donewithdebt.com today. I want to go back into this too and talk about the fact that illegal immigrants make an extensive use of welfare. This is a lot of people disagree with this, but it's true. Based on government data, we estimate that 59% of households headed by illegal immigrants use one or more major welfare programs, compared to 39% of households headed by U.S.-born. Based on their use rate of major welfare programs, we estimate that illegal immigrants receive $42 billion in benefits, or about 4% of the total cost of the cash, Medicaid, food, and housing programs examined in our study. However, this is only a rough approximation due to limitations in the data. It goes on to say here that illegal immigrants can receive welfare on behalf of U.S.-born children, so that's true. And the high welfare use of illegal immigrant households is not explained by an unwillingness to work. In fact, 94% of illegal immigrant households have at least one worker, compared to only 73% of U.S.-born households. But the nation's welfare system is designed to help low-wage workers with children, which describes a very large share of illegal immigrant households. That's the problem. So I want to read this last fact to you, right there, last bullet point at the bottom. In addition to consuming welfare, illegal immigration makes significant use of public education. Based on average cost per student, the estimated 4 million children of illegal immigrants in public schools created $68.1 billion in costs in 2019. The vast majority of these children are U.S. born, but still, you have to realize they came here illegally. So these are people who didn't spend generations paying into the system. They're just pulling out of it. So it's a net negative. And this anchor baby thing needs to stop. It just needs to stop. Point in case, this illegal immigration problem is costing us more than our safety. It's costing us a lot of money that we don't have. And we've got to solve this. Let me know your thoughts about this below. Could you use an extra $9,000? What would you do with that money? I'd love you to drop a comment. Don't forget to do two things before you go. Like the video, number one, and number two, grab the link and share it with your friends and family on Facebook, on email, retweet it, whatever you got to do. I'm Elijah Schaefer. You've been watching Beyond the Headlines, only on Vigilant News. Have a great rest of the week, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.